record this on the computer. So this is recorded. Good. So so let's see if I can do a live transcript too. Sorry. All right, I do live transcript so you can see my. So so what happened is that so for office hours, so other than 3:15 to 4:15 on Monday, sometimes I'm available a little bit on Wednesday because I had to drive back to college after this class, because I do meet in college on 2 of my classes, starts at 4:30. So if you want to, I mean, that's why my Wednesday is a bit off after your class. But if you need to, you can stay after class. But if it's other time beside this class, you need to send me an email. And that email, tell me what time you're free. And my Tuesday is pretty off. My Thursday is pretty off. So if you're free during Tuesday and Thursday on a specific time, just give it to me what time you're free and give me times, plural. That means give me a few choices I can pick. And then I will send you a Zoom link. Then we can have an office hours. So mostly all the office hours is via Zoom, and it's not the same link as the one that you guys are attending right now. Okay, so just want to point out to you guys. This class is a combination of 11:15, 11:30 is the acceleration class, means it's a boot camp class, means it goes really, really fast. It consists of chapters from college algebra like exponents, rational functions, log, and polynomials. And then it also includes like 1170, which is trigonometry, like sine, cosine, tangent, conic sections, vectors, sequence and series. So those are the stuff that we will be doing in this class. I do recommend you guys to spend a little bit more time in this class because it's a 5-credit class compared to 1150 or 1170, which is a 3 and 4 credit class. So you can tell this is actually 7 credits, but we kind of like squeeze it to 5 credits. So that's why it's pretty fast. For the textbook, we are using this textbook, which is this one. I think, is that Nukin? Can you show the? Yep. So this is the textbook from, and can you turn around? Turn the book around, sorry. This is, so if you see the red package there, that is the access code. Thank you so much, Nikin. So this is the textbook that we are using here. So thank you, you're fine, Nikin. Thank you. So that access code that you see is for the online homework. So that's why the WebAssign computer software. This WebAssign computer software is the access code, the red one that Nukin just I'll show you at the back. So it's kind of like a piece of cardboard. When you open it, you pull a tab and there should be a code inside. You have to type in the code into the WebAssign for register. Exactly the same. So if you have a Cengage, you like the first part is Cengage something. So with a capital C, you have exactly copy and paste, but we should type and paste actually. So you actually have to really type everything as that with a dash. If there's no space, you don't put space. If there is a space, put a space. So those are the little stuff that you need to watch out, because I got some students having difficulty putting the access code inside the course compass, inside the website. So if you have any difficulty registering and put the access code in there, please send me an email with a screenshot of your computer screen saying what kind of error message you get before I send it to the IT people. So this is very important because, so you want to get all these, ducks in a row here. So there is a textbook that we are using. I think it's $150. Some people ask me, is there a cheaper way to do it? Yes, there is a cheaper way to do it. I will show it to you. However, if you are using financial aid, I do suggest you to just get a textbook. But if you're not using financial aid, that is a cheaper way. You will save around $50 in this case. So I will tell you the other options if you need to. Calculators, we will be using scientific calculators in this class. Any scientific calculators will work. Doesn't matter. I don't care what kind of scientific calculator you do have. This usually costs around $10 to $15 if you go buy it from Walmart or Target. You are not allowed to use the graphing calculators, and you are not allowed to use the cell phone calculators during test time. So those are the one that I wouldn't allow you. And the reason why I also not very suggest you to use a graphing calculus when you do your homework is because you're so used to the graphing calculus when you do your homework, and during tests, you don't have a graphing calculus, then you have a scientific, and all the buttons are so different from the graphing ones. So you begin to like, where is the exponents? Where is the log? Where is all these buttons that you used to use in your graphing calculators? It's no longer, it's there, but you're not familiar with it. So I would recommend you to just get a scientific and then use the scientific throughout the whole course. Then you get used, how to do all the fractions and everything stuff. Okay, so get one. Prereq, please make sure you go through the prereqs. So this is the first page on the syllabus. Anyone, any questions for me for the first page of the syllabus here? Good, everyone is here. So Ethan and Andy and Chris, can you please change your name, rename yourself? So right click on your screen, and then there is a rename button. Change it to your full name or your origin name that you register for this class, because during attendance time, I will use that. Thank you, Andy. Yep, I got it. Yep. Anyone have any questions for me? Yep, thank you, Chris and Ethan. Right, that's the first page. Second page of the syllabus. So this is what the gradings portion is. Attendance is 10 points. Tasks, there are 3 tasks, 50%. Homework is 20%. Final is 20%. So this is it's 100%. So there are a total of 4 tests in this class, and they are all, you have to go to college campus to take it. I'll tell you more about it. So for attendance, we will be Zoom every Monday and Wednesday from 2 to 3:10. All the Zoom meetings will be recorded and will be posted in YouTube as a private link. So you cannot actually go to the YouTube and search for David Liu's Math 1180 class. You won't come out. This link will be posted in D2L. So the only way you can access to these Zoom meetings is go to D2L. There should be I will post a link there, and that will be a link that you watch. You click on it, and then it will bring you to YouTube that you can watch it. Okay, that's the only way you can watch the Zoom meetings. Attendance is mandatory. I will count 20 attendance, excluding your test time, finals, and holidays. So I think we meet around like 30 times, around 30 times. So 20 will be counted. 10 is kind of freebies. So it will contribute 10% of your final grade. So one attendance is around 0.5%, which is pretty a lot. That's a Zoom link that you guys use, so that's perfect. How do I take attendance? So we're gonna take attendance now. So in order for me to take your attendance, I'm not calling your name. So what you do is go to the chat room and type present. Just go to the chat room and type present. Go ahead. We're gonna take attendance right now. Thank you. See, this is the reason I need your full name, is because then I can, this chat room is safe, so I can see your name, and then I'll take attendance. Then I'll just put, tally up in my attendance sheets here. So if you have any questions about attendance, usually I say, oh, attendance time, just go to the chat room like what you guys did, type present, and you're done. If you have any questions, you can either type in the chat room, or you can unmute yourself and talk to me if you have any questions. So this is how I take attendance, and it's very easy. Notes, there are notes posted in D2L. So I also send you guys some notes via email. So there are 2 sets of notes. One set is called just the notes, where it's the blank notes without any writings on it. Not my work. And then the other set of notes is called instructor notes, where you get all the examples and everything that I wrote out as instructor from my previous class. That so you can actually look at the instructor notes, which is what I really more concentrate on, especially when you do your homework and you're stuck with some questions. The instructor notes will be the one that I will want you to look for. Videos, there are some videos posted. Sometimes it's created by me, sometimes it's created from someone in YouTube. So you just go to YouTube and search for it. I know where is a good place to do it. So you can watch the videos. And the link for the Zoom videos is in D2L. So mostly everything here about notes and videos is all mostly in D2L. So I will show it to you where you get all these goodies. So yep. Next part is online homework. So your online homework is through WebAssign.net. So it's not .com. So make sure you do the .net in here. Your online homework is due on Wednesday at 11:59 p.m. Central Time, the Central Time Zone. And this is a freebie or extra credit I give to everyone. Is I will drop 4 of the lowest online homework score. Someone asked me how many homework that I assign. If I'm not mistaken, you have around 50. That's a lot of homework. So I will drop 4 of the lowest one, and your online homework will contribute 20% of your final grade. Okay. So the class key is given here. This is where you register to WebAssign. This is class is used. Please do not copy and paste this class key into the website, because you will get error message. You have to actually type it out. Okay, I will show it to you later on how do you do that. And when you do your online homework, there is a button called Watch It button. This is a video. When you click on that, it's a video that you will see, and that video will doing a question very similar to the one that you have trouble with the different numbers, and it's like a 2-3 minutes long. So make sure you watch it before you try to do your homework. And if you need help and you watch the examples really, you email me your questions. Okay, I will talk more about this. How do you email me and all these questions when we access to the WebAssign, which is also today. Okay. Anyone have any homework? Any questions that you have with the syllabus here? Okay, you guys are quiet here. Tests. So as you know that we have 4 tests, 3 tests, and they all will take in on campus. So 3 tests will be 50%, and your finals is 20%. So there are 4 tests. Your test is great based on your work shown. So if you do not give me any work, you just give me your final answer. I don't care if the final answer is correct or wrong, you still count. I will give you 0. Calculators, only scientific calculators can be used during the test time. So if you do not have a scientific calculator during the test time, you can borrow it from me. I do have a few extra in my office. You just need to email me, hey David, I forgot to bring my calculators. I say I'll bring some. This is something that I want to point out to you guys is your test cannot be retake, cannot be redo. You cannot take a late test, and there's no extra credit given the test. So just want to point out to you guys that this is not high school. There is no redo, retake, no all these things, no extra credits. Okay. If you have something going on the test time, or you're not feeling well or something else, please, or some emergency, email me. Very important. Okay, very, very important, because your test is like what, it's like 15-16% on the test and 20% on your final. So if you miss one test, automatically you drop 1 to 2 grades. So that's how important it is. So if you kind of you have something going on, you need to email me. The test is will be administrated at CLA 116. So this is the only time that you will go to school, go to campus to take the test. And it goes from 2 o'clock to 3:30. Don't forget our class, Zoom class, meet till 3:15 or 3:10. Your test is actually go to 3:30. So if you guys are working on those dates, make sure you ask your boss that you might be 15-20 minutes late because you have a test on that day. So so the first test is going to be on Wednesday, September 15, and it will cover chapter 2627, 3, and 4142. And then test 2 will be October 11 on Monday. We cover these sections. Test 3 on Monday, November 15, and your finals will be on Wednesday, December 15, which will cover only chapter 7, 4, 7, 5, 8, and 11. So you can tell that your test is not comprehensive, means that once you finish your first test, your final, it means your final doesn't involve all your tests, all your sections that we cover. You only involve the last few chapters that we have. Okay, so as to remind you guys, I would really strongly you guys to put all this test time in your cell phone, in your calendar, to remind yourself, reminder for yourself that that these are your test day, because if you miss one test, you will drop at least 15–16% of your final grade, which is not good, right? So remind yourself, and if you come to my Zoom class, I will remind you like your mom, like, hello, test is next Wednesday. Test is next Wednesday, so so hopefully you won't miss my test. Anyone have any questions with this? So you asked me about how many questions in the test. Because it's 1.5 hours long, I will think about 12, 13 questions in the test. It's not going to be a long test because I cannot give you like 20, 30 questions. So it's going to be like maybe 12 questions, and some questions do comes in parts. So you have A, B, C, D, So it will take you 1.5 hours to take the test. Anyone have any questions with the test? And again, if you know you'll be gone on these days or you got called in for work or something, not feeling well, please email me ASAP, okay, or call me, or call someone else to call me. If you're in the hospital, call your mom. Hey mom, can you please call my math teacher, because I have a test tomorrow or something else in the hospital. So I understand it. Okay, so this is very important. Questions? So since the test is going to be on campus, and since COVID-19 is rising up with the Delta variant here, so what is going on is when you come to take my test in campus, you have to mask. You have to wear a mask. Doesn't matter if it's a shield or a mask, doesn't matter what it is. But if you are not feeling well, if you think you tested positive during the time for COVID-19 and you have the symptoms, chills and fevers, don't come to class. Just send me an email. Hey David, blah, blah, blah. But if you tested positive, I do need some evidence. So if you're seeing a doctor or something else, I do need a doctor notes. If you tested positive for COVID-19, I do need the result slip. This is all very private stuff. I want to just take a look. Okay, I will delete the whole email. So don't worry about. So this is very private information. And so if you're gone for those days during test time, and you have make sure you have paperwork to show evidence that you'll be gone, like jury duty or something else, you have to send it to me via email. And there's a very personal stuff, very private. And I will once I look at it, I will delete it off. Same thing with attendance, because I take attendance, right? So if you cannot come to class on Monday or Wednesday, or sick or something else, make sure you email me, and then with the proof of why you be gone, and then I will examine it. That means you're fine. But if you just email me and don't give me any, you don't give me any proof, then I will mark you absent that time. Okay. So make sure you guys please read through this. So if you have COVID-19 during the semester, this is a good place to find. Yes, I recommend you guys to go get vaccinated. Even though you're vaccinated, you're still required to wear a mask in campus. There will be some resources I will point out that if you tested positive for COVID-19, there will be the college might pay you back all the tuition fees, something like that. I don't know, but you have to go through this page and talk to the people. There are people on campus that is specific for COVID-19. So if you tested positive or something happens, please visit this page or ask someone else with this, because this is really, really difficult times, as you say. Okay. You guys all right so far? Okay. Accommodations, students who have disability, please contact Access Services, which is this number here, to get accommodations. Then I can provide you accommodations, especially during test time. You can ask for 1.5 times 2 hour long test time. And some students say, I don't think so, I need accommodations. I think I can go through this by myself. I will tell you that no, go get accommodations. 1.5 hours for students is going to be not enough for you guys. So I would recommend, if you do get the accommodations from Access Services, and they will send me all the information. I don't want you to second guess yourself. Oh, I don't think so, I need it. I will tell you, you do need it. Okay. Code of conducts. So follow the code of conducts that's printed out in student handbooks. This is for classroom. So if you come during taking a test, silence all your cell phones. Don't bring your friends, no visitors. Don't bring your guns, no firearms. For food, I allow drinks, water, coffee, pop soda. I don't allow food, so don't bring the whole Happy Meals and whatever McDonald's that you have. Just I'm okay with sodas, with with coffee and water. If there is a spillage in the classroom during test time, please clean up after yourself. Okay. And the last one is talking about if you have someone harass you based on your race, sex, gender, religions, and so on, please email me and tell me what's going on, because I'm not tolerate harassment in this classroom. So please, so anything, just email me and I will take actions of it. Okay. So how to success in this class? Come to my class every day. If you don't come to my class, do watch the videos. I know some of you are lazy. I don't watch it. I do recommend you watch the videos and take notes, ask any questions. Like, you guys are very quiet here. So if you have any questions, do ask it. You can ask it via chat or unmute yourself. Because if you don't ask any questions, I assume you will really understand what is going on. So please do ask questions. Participate in this class. Don't be quiet, because you pay for this class and I'm teaching you. So I'm welcoming any questions. I don't care if the question is stupid or lame or whatever it is. I send it to me. If I can answer, I will answer it to you. Mostly if it's math related, yes, I will definitely be able to answer questions for you. If it's too much, then I will say, can we do it after class, during the office hours? Then I can, then if you have any homework questions, I can do that after class. Someone asked me how long to do my homework. One section is around 1 hour to 1.5 hours long. So in a week, I assign 2 or 3 homework sections. So 2 or 3 is around 3 hours to 4 or 5 hours to do your homework. So I will say in my class, 3 to 5 hours to study for my homework a week, not a day, a week, 3 to 5 hours a week to do my homework. And one homework is around 20 to 30, one section of homework is around 20 to 30 questions. So there are around 20 to 30 questions in the homework, and you need an hour to an hour and a half to do it. Okay, and again, do not leave it at the very end to do your homework, because it's not something I would like you guys to do. And if you keep on missing my homework and ask for extension, I will at one point I will say no, you can only get like 1 or 2 extensions for the homework. So if you keep on asking extension, I will say keep on asking no. Okay, so do not procrastinate in this case. What else? If you need help, that you can talk to me for office hours for help. That's the first thing. If during weekends I'm not around, we want to help you, please use the Math Resource Center, the MRC. They open on Saturday and Sunday. You can go through their website. You go to the college website, just type MRC and they have a link. It's a Zoom tutoring. There is also peer tutoring. It's all free for you guys. So I would recommend you guys, if you need help and I'm not around to help you, these are the places you should go. So please, I would recommend you to sign up now, especially the peer tutoring. If it's all been signed up, then the person has no free time for you guys. So if you need help, go to peer tutoring and get help from there. And anyone have any questions so far for me? No. And the last thing is a course schedule. So usually this first week we go to 3 sections here. So this 3 sections will be due on Wednesday on week 2 by midnight. And then this will be due on the next week, Wednesday on week. So there are sometimes 3 sections, sometimes 2 sections. And if there is a test going on, like on this has a test 1, then this homework is due on the day before the test. So Tuesday. So usually on Wednesday, this is due on Tuesday, because this section will be in your test 1 in this case. Okay, so these are your schedule here. And so like this is due on, this 3 section will be due on Sunday, because the test is on Monday, October 11th. And then this is due on Sunday also, because the test is on Monday. And the last one is due on Tuesday, because the final is on Wednesday. Anyone have any questions for me? So sometimes 1 section, sometimes 2 sections a week, sometimes most is 3. And one section is what, 1.5 hours long to do it, the 20 to 30 questions. Anyone have any questions for me here with your schedule? And important dates, these are the important dates that we don't have classes. So please also put it in your cell phone, in your calendar about this date, so you do not ask your teacher, hey, I know we don't meet on Tuesday, but September 14th, we don't have class because the teacher, we all have in service, we have to go to school to do some work. So like Wednesday, and so make sure you guys, get this, put in your cell phone. And this is for all the classes in North Hennepin. So they're all the same. And then except for November 29th, which is Monday, this one we have a class, but this is a day that you withdraw from the class, the last day to withdraw from the class. So if you're not doing well in the class, you got D or an F, you want to withdraw, this is the last day to withdraw before it puts in your transcript and before it will affect your GPA. Okay. There is also one additional day that I want to point out that we will not be having class is not this Wednesday, but the following Wednesday, September 1st, on the second week. It's no class because I have some personal issues going on that day, so I have to take that day off. So, but the rest of it, you do have class on the rest, all your other classes. So what happened is the section 3.3, you have to self-study it. So what I mean by self-study means that I will give you my old Zoom link and some videos. You have to watch it and you have to self-learn it. So hopefully on the week 3 on we will look if you have any questions, we'll talk about that on week 3 on Monday. Okay, so so that is something that I want to point out. I will remind you guys again next week at Wednesday that we don't have class on the September 1st. Anyone have any questions for me before we go to D2L and WebAssign? Questions? Question? Oh, someone has a chat there. Is homework due on Wednesday the next week? The next week. So that means there is no homework due this week. So your homework is due next week. So like this 3 homework is due next Wednesday. This 2 is due on next Wednesday. So there's no homework due this Wednesday. Okay. Anyone have any questions for me? That's very good. Okay, so we're gonna go into D2L. So this is D2L. So this is where you go to college algebra and pre-calculus. So the first thing you see is announcement. So this is how you register to WebAssign. So if you doesn't know how to, you forgot, you can rewatch this video again. But anyway, this is the instruction, and this is a Zoom for this class. So this is a Zoom link. If I will put more announcement here. If class is canceled or all the Zoom videos that I posted in YouTube, the link will be posted in the announcement here, so you can click on it and watch it. So those are the announcements that you will see for this class. And then under materials and content, this is all the paperwork that I sent to you, example like syllabus. So if you want to figure out where you want another copy of syllabus, it's right over here for this class. Notes. This notes is the blank notes that I'm talking about. So if you just click on the notes part, it's all it's just nothing there. Okay. So but if you go under the instructor notes, that will be it's all been filled. So if you look at the instructor notes, so this will be something that this is so I would recommend that if you guys are stuck with your homework and I'm not around or something else, I would recommend go to this instructor notes, because all these examples that you see here, they are all coming from your homework. So if you are stuck with some questions, I would recommend you to look at this, especially the word problems here. Like this kind of word problems that will be in your online homework. So if you are stuck, first place I will look for is under here instructor notes, because there are all word problems here, and they all will be in your homework here. Anyone have any questions for me here? So this is under materials and content. So videos, these are the videos that I found in YouTube. So if you click on this, these are the videos that comes from the textbook, comes from Khan Academy, comes from YouTube. So you can actually watch the videos. So if you need help, especially with videos, this is where you go for. You don't need to go search under YouTube. There's so many videos there. Others, these are the stuff that is used when you go to trigonometry, chapter 6. So once you go to chapter 6, this is something that I would recommend you to print it out. Like this is a unit circle trigonometry, which is very important. There will be some exact values that we'll be using also in the chapter 6, so which is very important. So these are the few things that I would recommend you to print out, and this is under others. And then the review is a review for your test. So this is a final review, but I will post the review for test 1, test 2, test 3, and the final review here, so you guys can get the review from this place. So this is all under materials, content. And the last thing we do in D2L is under assessment and grades. This is where your grades will be. So when you click on the assessment and grades, I'll show. So this is what it looks like in the grade book. So the top part here is usually your percent, your overall grade for this class, what is percentage. There are 3 tests, 50%, your online homework is 20%, your final is 20%, and then attendance is 10%. So this will be what I will do. So if there is any mistake I make here, especially during, I make mistakes, so please email me and tell me, hey, David, test 1, I'm supposed to get, 70, you give me 7. No, I did used to do that for 0 in there. So, which is big point difference. So I would recommend you guys, if I make any mistake, please check with this. I do make mistakes, and then email me and I will look at it. Okay. Anyone have any questions for me with this? So the D2L, 3 important things: grade book, which is under assessment and grade. Materials and content is all the paperwork, all the notes and syllabus, videos. And then if you go to the main page, the announcement, this is where for announcement in the classrooms, Zoom link, cancellation class, all the announcements right here. Anyone have any questions with D2L? There's no Dropbox, so you do not need to do assignments or anything because we don't do Dropbox. Anyone have any questions? Okay. Next will be WebAssign. So WebAssign is your online-based homework. So you need to register for this WebAssign. So first thing is enter the class key. So this class key is in the syllabus, which is right here under homework. There you go. So make sure you type this correctly. I got students type it wrongly. It's nhcc.mansq. So make sure your spelling is correct. There's no autocorrect spelling here. Then there's a space, and there's a period right in between the NHC and mansq. There's a 6458, and then another space 3475. So make sure you type this. Don't copy and paste it from your syllabus, and you hit enroll. And this is your textbook looks like, and this is my name, and you hit continue. Now, if you have a Cengage account from your previous math class or your business class or your chemistry class or whatever classes you have, psychology class, you actually let me sign up for, sorry. So you can actually use your oh my God, what happens? No, sorry about that. I didn't sign off. So so if you have your previous, there you go. So if you have your previous Cengage account, you can use your email and your login from your previous one. If you forgot, you just need to type, you just put in help to sign in, and they will go through the process of the password stuff. But if you are new, create an account. Some students ask me what email should we use. I would recommend use the school email address. The reason why I don't want you to use a Yahoo or Gmail is because every time I reply an email that you send it to me, it might go to your spam box. So I would highly recommend you to use this college email address, so that I'm using college email address too. So when I reply back, it won't go to the spam box. So that is something I would recommend. So when you create a new account, they will ask you for informations like your email, your name, and so on, so on, so on, like how you create an account for Facebook or new email address. So once you've got into the account creation here, your username and password, so this is what it looks like. Come on, slow. It's a little bit slow. I want to tell you guys that just be patient, because there are a lot of students accessing this week, because some classes starts this is the whole nationwide. So maybe a lot of students is using this website to register. So just I'm going to refresh this photo. Come on, no. Hello. Oh my goodness. Usually it goes through, but I don't know why. Uh-oh. So might check another one. Let's see. So anyway, so I'm going to show you another one because of this one. So some students, I think it's because of this one. Some students were asking me about options of saving money. So there are options of saving monies is if you just want to buy the access code by itself, it's $100 for just this book, and it's good for 1 year. So if you want to retake this class again, if you retake, then you do not pay extra, because this is good for a year. It's $100. However, financial aid does not cover this money. So that means you have to pay off from your pocket if you're under financial aid. If you are in financial aid, I would recommend you just get the book from the bookstore. There is also one that is called Cengage Unlimited. So this is where if you are taking a lot of Cengage, a lot of classes that use Cengage textbook. So what happened is you pay $120 for a semester, and you can access to all the Cengage material. So let's say that I'm using Cengage for math, and let's say you go for computer, and computer is using Cengage. You go for business, your business is also using Cengage, and you go for your chemistry, also using Cengage. So let's say all 4 classes is using Cengage. You actually do not buy any textbook. You just go for this unlimited. You can access to all these 4 classes for $120 for 1 semester, all the textbook ebooks and all the homeworks and everything. And how do you know it's Cengage? It's very easy. Is if you buy the textbook, or you can ask the bookstore, the textbook at the corner here, on the side corner, there's a Cengage product here, so that you know this is Cengage. Okay. If your book is about Pearson, then it's different. So if there's a Pearson right here, there's a Pearson right next to, Pearson right here. So Pearson is a different publisher. So they are like cats and dogs, 2 different things. So so I would recommend that if you doesn't know if your computer or your business are using Cengage product, you can always email your instructor and ask him or her, saying that, hey, is your book, are we using Cengage publisher or Pearson publisher? Those are 2 major ones. And if they're using Cengage publisher, then I will recommend you to just get the unlimited one, which is only cost you $120 for the whole semester for all the books you can have. So you just return back all the books to the bookstore and tell them to get the Cengage unlimited. They do sell this in the bookstore a little bit more than $120. I think it's like $140, something like that. So usually bookstores price is a bit higher than the one from the website. However, the only downfall is the website is cheaper, but you cannot apply your financial aid. Okay. So, do you have any questions with this Cengage product here? And also, if you have anyone have any questions for me? And then if you have the access code, you just enter the access code, and this is how you enter your access code. Usually it starts with the cengage and then a dash something something, and you have to type exactly. If there are caps, make sure you use caps. If they are lowercase with numbers with a space, make sure you space it out. So make sure you type it out exactly like what is on the access code that you buy from the bookstore. Because if you mistype one stuff or forget to space, forget the dash in between, you're not able to register for it. So if you have this kind of problems, you just need to send me an email and I will help you with it. Anyone have any questions for me? Anyone have any questions for me? And I will show it to you what it looks like. Sorry, I need to close a little bit more stuff. So once you finish registering and all these things, you do not need to register. You need to register once. So next time you just log in here and use the username and password that you log in, and they will ask you for username and password. Skip that part. And then this is what it looks like in your class. Here, show it to you. So this is the class. So this is the ebook. So if you need the ebook to to refer to something else, click on it, and you guys will get the ebook. Now, usually, what is good about this ebook is it has some built-in multimedia stuff on it. So for example, is that we're going to have a test, let's say on chapter 2, 3, and 4 here. So usually the tests we have here is you want to review for your test. Okay. So this is the outlines for the chapter 3 here. If you see this little F means it's a calculus type problem or section. So right at the end there, you will see a chapter test. So this is how you review for my test. So you go to like the ebook, go to the chapter test, and these are the one that you will get the chapter test. And if you click on it, there will be answers given to you. Okay, so there were answers in there. So I will recommend you, if you want to review for your test, no matter it's test 1, test 2, test 3, or finals, all your tests, I will recommend you to go through this. And again, your test is only have 10 or 15, 10 or 12 questions. So this is a lot of questions in here. You see that? This is only chapter 3. So I will recommend you to do a little bit of chapter 2 and chapter 4. And I will try my best to compile everything into one review test. However, if I will get it from the books, the textbook, and the textbook doesn't have an answer, so what you need to do is you have to go online to the ebook and check for the answer in this case. Okay. Otherwise, your textbook has an answer, it's at the back of the book. You have to go through at the back of the book. But the easiest way is just go through here and you can find your answers immediately. Okay. So that is mostly the ebook that I'm talking about here, which is very important. Okay. Your homework is right here. So these are your homework. So yes, this is quite a lot. And don't forget, I will drop for the lowest homework score. So 2.6 is where you start. So how many chances you can do your how many chances you can answer this? 5 per box. Okay, you can have 5 chances per box. So if you get wrong on the third time, stop. Don't try it again, because once you hit 5, you're over. I cannot open it up for you. How do you ask questions? You just type the word here, and I say, David, don't ask this. Why my answer is wrong. So do not send me this in to me, because I will reply back, where is your work? Because I didn't know how you get your answer. I know the answer is wrong, but how do you get that answer? So there are 2 ways for you to send me your work. Either you can type here. Here is my work. You type your work down here, which is a lot of typing, right? You have to type. Or you can say that you can take your phone, take a picture of your work, and say check your email for work. So take a picture of your work that you did, and then send it to me to my college email address. And I will look at it and see what is going on. And then I can figure out, oh, you make a mistake here. Because if you just tell me what is going, why my answer is wrong, I will say, where is your work? You're wasting your time here. So make sure you send me your work to me so that I can figure out where do you go wrong. Okay, and if you need extra symbols like square root and power and everything, the cal pad here will be the one. Calculator pad is the one if you need a square root or a fraction or power. If you need like a e log, a cube root, absolute value, you need pi or infinity or theta or I. You need a union symbol. So those are all the stuff that that your keyboard doesn't have. And when we go through vectors, these are the vector symbols we use, and trigonometry we use a lot of sine, cosine, and arc sine. So these are the stuff that that if you need that is not found in the text in your keyboard, that you can you can type in there. You guys all right here? Anyone have any questions with the homework? And once you're done, once you hit the submit, you will submit your answer. If you haven't hit the submit button yet, they will save your answer until you hit the submit answer. So don't just, at the end, so make sure you submit. And you do not need to submit when you do all 5 of this. You can submit individually. That means you can do part A, submit, part B, submit, part C, submit, and part D, submit. You can do like, you don't do all 5 and submit at one time. You can do individual submission, yeah. And then you will see that it's help here. So so let's say that you doesn't know how to do C or D. Let's say you doesn't know how to do D. So if you go read it, the ebook will pop up here, and they will give you that section that 2.6 that we are on, and they will give you the section 2.6 here, and it's a textbook, so ebook. So you will read through it. So 2.6, there you go. So you can read through this. So I won't suggest you read it, but I recommend you to watch it. So when you do watch it, since they got 4 parts, so let's say you doesn't know how to do part D, so you can click on part D. It's a 1 minute long to do part D, but the question is very similar to what you have here. See that? And the part D will be the one that they will show to you. So you can watch this unlimited time. It won't affect your scores. So I would recommend that mostly all of these have a watch it button here. So I would recommend you to watch it if you need help with it. You guys have any questions for me? And then practice another version is the one that if tomorrow is a test time, you want to practice this. So I will recommend you to click on this and then practice another version, and you can practice this. And again, it's great for you, but it won't affect your grades. So the only one that affect your grades right now on this question here, but the one that you're practicing, it won't affect at all. So this is good to use, good for you guys, especially when you want to review for your test. You guys all right? So do you have any questions for me? Anyone? One thing I want to point out to you guys is that your online homework is very picky. So for example, these X are all small little x. So if you use like capital X, although the answer is 4x, but you use caps, they will mark you wrong. So make sure that you use whatever symbols, letters you use. If it's lowercase, use lowercase. If it's uppercase, use uppercase. If you forget a comma, sometimes you need like coordinates, you need a comma in between those 2 numbers. Sometimes you forgot to put a comma, they will take points off or they mark you wrong. So those little minor stuff, like sometimes you need a parenthesis, closing parenthesis, because it's of coordinates. So so minor stuff like you use an uppercase instead of lowercase, you forgot a comma, or you forgot a parenthesis. You can always email me and I will always give you back the point. So if you got a minor stuff like that, I will always give you the point back. Okay, so just email it to me. I say, David, I forgot to put parentheses, closing parentheses. I forgot to put a comma. I forgot to put this and that, plus or minus sign, or something else. So just let me know about it, and I will look at it. If your answer is correct, but you forget tiny stuff like that, I will give you back the points. Questions for me? Anyone? No? Okay, no questions. No? So we're gonna start with chapter 2.6 since we got some time here. So you guys take attendance. You guys put attendance already, right? Anyone forgot attendance? Attendance, you guys. You guys. Okay, good. So for those who forget to put attendance, make sure you put present in the chat room and enter it with your name so I know who you are. So we're gonna today we're gonna start with 2.6 combinations of functions. So composite functions. So first thing we talk about combination of functions. So the F and G are two functions here with overlapping domains. Overlapping domains means the domains they have something in common, so they are part of a union domain. So so what happened is that you can actually do the addition, subtraction, product is multiply, quotient is divide of these two functions by either adding them up, subtract, multiply them, or divide it up. So these are the normal combination functions we have. So I will do some examples here. Okay. So example is, this is the two functions we have, 2x minus 5 and 2 minus x. So you have to do what is plus, minus, multiply, divide, and then what is the domain of this division function. So how do we do this kind of work? So it's a pain here. So so for the first question is, we're gonna do the plus. So in order for you to plus this, you just simply add and then combine like terms. So you just take the f of x, which is 2x plus 5, minus 5, sorry, and you add it with 2 minus x. And then you combine like terms, and that will be x minus 3. And that's your answer. So the addition is easy, okay? Now the subtraction is a little bit different, is where you also take this 2x minus 5, but this time you subtract it with 2 minus x. Okay, and then you combine like terms, you will get x plus 2x minus x, minus 7. Now, if you do this, please pay attention, class. This is wrong. This is correct. Part A is correct. Anyone tell me why this is wrong? Anyone? This is and this is something that you guys will do in my test. I know that you guys will get it wrong. Anyone know why this is wrong?
You didn't distribute the negative sign.
Very good, Nukim. That is correct, because when you subtract, you have to put a parenthesis here where this has to be, the negative sign has to be distributed. This is correct. So this answer is wrong. So this is actually 2x minus 5 minus 2 plus x. So actually you will get 3x minus 7. You guys all right? So be careful with this, the negative distribution. Then we need to multiply. The next one we do is multiplication. So multiplication usually means you have to FOIL. Okay, so you take the f of x, which is 2x minus 5, and you multiply that with 2 minus x. I think you guys know how to FOIL this one, right? So you do have to FOIL this one out. So when you FOIL this, you will get 4x minus 2x squared minus 10 plus 5x. And then combine like terms. So it's negative 2x squared plus 9x minus 10. So that is your answer for part C when you multiply that. Make sure you FOIL it. And part D is where you divide. So when you divide this, you just take the f of x and you divide by g of x. So f of x in this case is 2x minus 5. and g of x in this case is 2 minus x. Now, when you divide or when you do quotient, can you do something like this? The 2 cancel, the x cancel, and I get 5. Can you do something like this?
No.
No, yep, this is entirely wrong. Cannot do it. Do not do this in your test. You get no points here. So can we cancel your 2 and the x in this case? Can we cancel anything? The answer is no. So this is your final answer. So my question to you is, when can we cancel? Anyone know when should we start canceling things? You only can cancel them when you perform factoring and they have a common factor. So what I mean here is, if you factor this, you get 2x minus 1 and x plus 3. And you got x plus 3 over here. Then yes, you can cancel this. This is what we call as common factor. You cannot cancel this because of an addition and subtraction in the middle. But once you factor, which is multiply, you can cancel this if they are common factor. You guys with me here? So this is the answer for f over gx. But the question also asking you for domain. Does anyone know how to find the domain of a rational function? Anyone? The hint is, anyone? Your denominator cannot be 0. That is a hint. Anyone know what is your domain here? So domain means that your x cannot take form. Now, as you know that when you do a fraction, you cannot divide by 0. Okay, so you cannot do 3 over 0. Anything over 0 is undefined. So we try our best not to have 0 in the denominator. Can someone tell me what is the x value so that it becomes 0? The denominator becomes. So what you do is you set this equals to 0, right? And solve for x. And what is x in this case?
2.
2, yep. So in this case that your domain in this case will be all real numbers. X cannot be 2. Okay, all real numbers. X cannot be 2. It means that any number works here except 2. Now, in your online homework, they don't like this form, all real numbers except x cannot be 2. So you have to write this in the interval notation. So what happens in this case is you have to write, so this is meaning of all real numbers except 2 means any number works except 2. So in order for us to write an interval notation, you have 2 pieces. One piece goes to the left side of the 2, and the other piece goes to the right side of the 2. So that means this domain is going to be in interval notation form, negative infinity to 2, union 2 to infinity. So this is the meaning of all real numbers, x cannot be 2. And this is how you put it in your answer. Okay. So I'm going to type this out example. Let's say this is your answer, and you need to type in your homework. So this, this is the homework. So you have to put negative infinity. So the infinity symbols is on the symbols. 2. Now there's double, so you just need 1. So make sure you watch out for double parentheses here. And then union. Now the union is not a capital U that you use in your keyboard. It's under set and the U. So it's under set and U. That's the union. and then 2 to infinity. So actually you have to use the calculus pad calculator pad quite a lot here, because you have to watch for this and make sure it's parentheses, not brackets, because they will mark you wrong. So this is how you enter this into your answer here. Is that all right here? Anyone have any questions for me? So this is how we do the first question. Okay, questions? Now, second questions is this example. Now, a lot of students do some little shortcut, and they think that the square root of x squared minus 4 is x minus 2. Is this correct or wrong? Because x squared is x, right? 4 is perfect square of 2, right? So is this correct?
No.
Yep, this is wrong. So can we simplify square root of x squared minus 4? The answer is no. This is it. Cannot do anything of it. How about your g of x? Can you cancel your x squared here? Can you cancel this x squared? Can you guys do that?
No.
Also no. So actually this is fixed. You can, there's nothing we can do. So the first part is ask you to add. So when you add this, you just take f of x, which is the square of x squared minus 4, and you add it with g of x squared over by x squared plus 4. And guess what? This is your answer. Do not try to reduce or to simplify this, because it's going to be a lot of work. So just leave it like that, and it takes you time to enter this into your homework. So remember, you have to enter this in your homework like here. So you have to enter all this in your homework. So it's a lot more time. For B, you need to do subtraction, right? Minus sign. So what you do is exactly the same, but with a minus sign. Okay, so part A and B is the same. You just need to change from plus to minus. And no, don't simplify it because it's a lot of work. Now, part C is asking us to multiply. So what happens when you take the f of x, multiply with g of x? Slight fraction here. So what happens when you take 4 times 3 over 5? Do you guys know how to multiply this? This 4 is over 1. And how do we multiply fractions?
Go across.
Straight across. So 4 times 3 is 12, and then 1 times 5 is 5, right? So this is the same thing. This square of 4 over 4 x squared over x squared minus 4 is over 1. So when you multiply this, you multiply them straight across. So what you have in this case is square root of x squared minus 4 times with x squared. So I put the x squared in front. And x squared plus 1 is on the bottom, because when you take that multiply by 1, you get back 1. So this is your answer for part C. Okay. And the last one is divide. So my question to you is, how do you divide this fraction? So multiply, you told me you multiply straight across. How about division? Anyone know how to divide fractions?
Flip and multiply across.
Yep. So the second one you have to flip. So the 4 over 1 is here, but you change the division to multiply, and then you flip the second fraction to become 5 over 3, and then you multiply them straight across, right? 20 over 3. So this is the same thing here. Is when you want to divide this, you will take the f of x, which is the square root of x squared minus 4, dividing with this fellow, right? Dividing with g of x, which is x squared over x squared plus 1. However, what we do with this division is we will change this to become multiplication. And then what you do with this is you flip it. So you will get x squared plus 1 on top over by x squared. And don't forget this is over 1. So what we do here is we multiply them straight across. So we will have x squared plus 1 square root of x squared minus 4 all over by x squared. And none of this can be canceled. So this is your answer in this case. But as usual, they will ask you for the domain of this. So this is a little bit difficult for the domain piece. Now, as you know that there are 3 pieces here, the x squared plus 1, the x squared, and the x squared, the square of x squared plus 4. Now, in order for you to find the domain, the x squared plus 1 has, you do not need to worry about finding domain for him. Does anyone know why we do not need to worry about finding the domain for x squared plus 1? These are all tricky stuff. Anyone know why we didn't find domain for him? Just for this piece.
It's not in the denominator.
That's one thing. It's not in the denominator. That's good. And what is the domain of x squared plus 1? Anyone know what's the domain for him? Anyone know what this graph looks like? X squared.
Is it a U? Okay.
It's a parabola, and 1 means you move what? You move it up 1. Yep, it's a parabola, move up 1. What is the domain? Domain is the x value. What is the domain for this case? The domain in this case is all real numbers, means any numbers work. So that's the reason why that when you see what we call as a polynomial function, like x squared plus 1, x cubed plus 1, 2x minus 3, you know, these are called polynomial functions. Your domain is always all real numbers. If you have multiple functions here, like we got 3 here, that all real numbers does not play an important role. However, this plays an important role, x squared. Why the domain here is important here is because this is in your denominator, and I explained to you in the earlier example, we cannot have this become what? 0, right? So the domain for this is all real numbers. X cannot be what? What
0.
number? I'm sorry, Nukin?
0.
0, yep. So the only number that we don't need here is 0. Now the most important piece is him, the square root function. So this is, if the green one is important, the black one you do need. Now, when you have a square root, does anyone know what happens to square root? Can you put negative inside a square root?
No.
It becomes complex, so that's why this is no good. So that means your domain cannot be negative inside. How about 0? Can you have a square root of 0? Yes, it's 0. How about positive? Any square root of a positive number is fine. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1.5, 2.8, no, it's fine. So my question to you is, can you tell me what number that you plug in here will make this fellow negative? So let's try with 0. If you plug 0 inside, what do you get? A negative or a positive or a 0 answer? -4. So that means it's no good, right? How about 1? What happens when you plug 1 in here? 1 squared minus 4. You get negative, 0, or positive?
Negative.
Negative, no good. How about 2?
0.
You get 0. 0 is good because square root of 0 is 0. How about 3?
Positive.
Is also good, right? Positive. How about negative? And then as you know that 4, 5, 6 will be good too because they are all positive, right? How about -1, -2, -3, -4? -1. Is that make him -0 or positive?
Negative.
That's no good. How about -2? That
0.
make him 0, so that is good. -3 will make him 9. 9 minus 4 is 5, so that's good. So that means anything after this is good. So what is the domain here? The domain here says that you can take from where? -2 towards there, and 2 above. Now, my question is, are we using parentheses or are we using brackets? Do you guys know the difference between parentheses and brackets? Parentheses is used when it's not including, and brackets is used when you include that number. So if you look at 2 here, can we include or not include 2?
Include.
Include, so we will use bracket. And how about -2? Also include, so we use a bracket. So what is the domain in this case? The domain is this one with this one. So it will be -∞ to -2 with a bracket, union with 2 to infinity. So this is the domain for just the square root piece. So now what do we do here is we combine all these 3 domains together. Now, as you know that this fellow has nothing to do. This one is the same thing as what we just did, the number line here. Now we're going to include the green one. Now the green one says what? Everything except what? Except 0. That means that your domain is going to be the same as the square root form. So that means your answer in this case will be from -∞ to -2 to infinity. And the reason why we do this is because since the green one says it can take anything except 0. And what we are talking about here is what we call as an intersection. An intersection means that where those two have together. So you find out that this part and this part is intersection, means they are together. So that's why your answer in this case is from -∞ to -2, union with 2 to infinity. So this is how we do question D for the domain here. It's a lot of work. I know it's like a lot of work. So this is how we perform this. So if I want to teach you a shortcut, it's very easy. If you see 4 here, what is a perfect square of 4? 2. So you just put one is +2 and one is -2. That is a domain. So look at this question 3. Can someone tell me what is the perfect square of 25?
5.
So what will be the domain? It looks very similar to what we have here, the purple one.
-∞ to 5 to -5, union 5, -∞.
Yep, with a bracket on the. So you have to use parentheses first on here. So it's -∞, comma with 5, but make sure you change this parentheses, sorry, -5, change it to bracket, and then union bracket 5 to infinity. And then change it to bracket. So usually infinities, we use parentheses. The reason why we use this 5 as a bracket here is because it's including 5. So so that is how you see. That's how you, it's very, so once I show you the shortcut, you know, it's really quick. So you do not need to go through the methods that I just showed you. Anyone have any questions here for me? We're gonna end today's class here. So if you do have any questions, let me know. So we just did the first 2 examples here. So I will want you to try to, next time when you come back to class, we'll do question I will start with example 6, and then we'll move on because we have 3 sections to go through this weekend. So we're gonna go through a little bit fast here. So again, you can get all these examples from the instructor notes in D12. So I would recommend you to do the work here. So 2 homeworks for me today. 1 homework is you need to register to WebAssign. This WebAssign here, you need to register. And second is start working on your homework. There are 3 homework due next Wednesday. I know you got time, but you know what? There are 3 homeworks. And as I told you, 1 homework takes you an hour long to do it. So you need at least 3 to 4 hours to do your homework. Okay. So again, 3 homeworks due next Wednesday, 2.6, 2.7, and 3.1. Okay. And this is usually what I will see as a teacher, the points right over here. Okay. So does anyone has any questions for me before you guys go here? I'm gonna start recording.